Hey, today I want to look through the Mario Kart World environment stuff. I've played about 45 minutes of this and I caught myself analyzing everything and I thought, let's just record all these, the analysis, I suppose, and just kind of comment on things and observe things. And yeah, so I'll try and trim it up throughout this video. It's going to be long. I don't know how long. But yeah, we're just gonna have fun diving into all this and enjoying our time. So come with us to explore 3D art of Mario Kart World. And we are doing a live stream. Obviously, you can see that on the side there with the chat. But yeah, I really like the clean text and stuff. That's really nice. All the colors are really just vibrant. Okay, let's just... And the audio, man, like, since getting into audio, they've added just this, like, crispness to a lot of the sounds, like the Koopa shell. That was one that I kept noticing. But I love that kind of stuff. Alright, maybe we'll just... I guess we'll just do free roam. If we're racing, we're not really gonna notice a bunch, so let's do free roam. I don't know if I want to be Donkey Kong, though. Snowman. I really have not... I've really tried to just, like, not look at... Mario Kart World updates and stuff as they've been coming out. I've just tried to keep it low. The eyes following. Oh, look at that. You turn the camera and he's changes his eyes. He doesn't know. Oh, yes, it does. That's interesting. Yeah, I feel like I like the redesigns of the characters and stuff. I think they're nice. So, yeah, in answer to your question, I'm allowed to share anything that is, you know, not specific. Like any like trade secrets or anything, but everything I do is very just like, you know, the processes are out there and they apply to pretty much most studios. Or it just depends on the pipeline. So yeah, I'll be able to like compare with like pipeline stuff probably. If we do like anything that's secret source, then no. Okay. Yeah, look at that squash and stretch when you pick things. Like, there's a little bit of scaling squash there. That's fun. Looking at the cars, I just really like some of the shapes here. Like, I really love this shape. It's just super chunky. You know me, if I've been on these streams, chunkiness is like everything. Yeah, just really clean designs and colors. And it's nice to see like just more examples of how they do like material work now. Like, I mean, it's been a while, especially since like the Switch, just seeing how they apply like just more like surface details and things. With the reflections and all that. Like, just the little roughness details on the front there. I can't really, like, point or zoom in on things, but, like, if you notice on the front, just the little roughness variations where the light catches a rough area. Like, these sorts of things really make it shine. And the side there on the star. Just adding little roughness details. Like, I feel like roughness values with stylized stuff, you do have to be a bit careful, but you don't want things to be too noisy with stylized stuff, but I feel like Nintendo has been, like, you look at Pixar films and obviously they're really stylized, but it's the colors and the shapes that, you know, stand out for Pixar. Like, they get this realistic look, but it doesn't look like uncanny or weird. It looks really stylized because of the colors and the shapes, but then they do add a bit of grit in the details there. It's not too noisy, I feel like. You don't get crazy noise, but there is room to be a little bit noisy. I'm also noticing on the what do you call it? Windscreen or the windshield. Look at the vertex normals there. Like, it catches the light there. So that is fully vertex normals there, and it's not very clean. And you can easily clean that stuff up in Blender. Okay, I just saw your message, Javelin. Switching from YouTube to Cat Pack. Gotcha. But yeah, that little snag there, you can easily change with some like vertex normal stuff. And a lot of the, like, even Rocket League, you know, like, I don't want to speak too much about Rocket League, but we do have some of that. It obviously has its limitations, but there's easy ways in Blender to clean up some of those vertex normals on that shine. One of the things that sticks out to me with the bee character, like, look at the texture of the fur. It's just like it's pretty noisy. Yeah, I'm just really interested in seeing, like, the level on the 3D artist side, when you're making the textures and stuff, like, how noisy do you go and how far can you get away with? And I feel like with Mario Kart World, it does have this, like, realistic sense. I feel like they do take a lot of inspiration from Pixar. Like, they strike a good balance. The eyes following is a really nice little addition there, and I wonder how they're doing that. And I think it might just be a UV thing. I have to look at, like, other characters, but I would bet for the eyes following, I'd be willing to bet that they have their eye mesh with just, like, the eye whites. And then they would probably just, like, control the UVs to go, like, horizontally in the material. Maybe. And then here with the blinking. Ugh. Can you hear that noise? It's fishy. It's pretty funny. But yeah, I think maybe with the blinking, I wonder if they have, like, a similar setup like I've got on my QB setup, where it just, like, goes to a blinking texture. At least for the fish. Yeah, I wonder if that's just like a UV thing and not like a mesh circle. I don't think it's a mesh circle going back and forth. It's probably just the whole eye and then shifting the UVs probably. But I don't know, I could be wrong. Like, maybe it is just, like, on bones. But when you get these, like, when you get the circle meshes like this, like the spherical eyes, it's hard for me to imagine, like, to go along the surface cleanly. That would be a very tricky thing to animate. So the easiest thing there would just be, like, animate the UVs going back and forth. But anyway, I think that's enough on that. Yeah, look at the normal detail on the stem. Like really all over the piranha plant. The noise. You can see some of the polygons. Like I'm noticing, like how low poly is it? You know, and you can kind of. It's low poly enough, right? Like how low poly to go, and they go as like far as they can without like breaking the silhouette. But I am seeing a bit of like jaggedness on the roundness of the head. You know, and anything I say, like I'm in the title, I put professional 3D artist, and it's true, but I don't like to tout that because I really don't know. Like I'm just learning constantly. I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm just a fan trying to understand how they're doing things and just learning from the best. But yeah, I'm just noticing like all the normal details there. It's really nice. Like it's not over noisy because the color drives it mostly. But if it was taking the color away, they probably wouldn't do it as much, you know. I don't know, I'm just rambling at this point. Okay, I think we'll just go on, we'll actually like pick someone. I'll do the penguin. And even the penguin's fur. Honestly, the penguin's fur doesn't look that great to me. Like it looks a bit stretched in places, which you can't really get away with when you're animating something, but it's a critique that I don't really have a solution for, but I just notice it. I don't know. I'm just rambling. Oh, so this isn't. I don't get the banana bike with this guy. Okay, I do like this rally car. I think I'm gonna pick this one. I want to change the colors though. Can you change the colors? Okay, so one thing I'm noticing straight off the bat. So these are steps. If you look at it straight on, it looks like steps, but you can see the silhouette here. They're very gentle steps, in that it's like it's a slope with enough of a bump, but they read as steps when you're driving really fast. It's like, oh yeah, let's go up this staircase, but then the silhouette of it shows that yeah, it's not really much of a step, it's just a slope with a little bit of a bump. If there are things that you guys want to look at, or like, hey, why don't you look at this, or I want to see more of that, like let's do more environment stuff, or what do you think of this or that, like we can take a look and kind of explore things together if you have suggestions. But I do wonder if I should just go at the start, like kind of the beginning area. Oh, look at these bushes though. That's so funny. I mean, I think so. I feel like Mario Kart environments, like you've got to take into account like what the game is for, like what's the purpose of the game, and that drives like how much detail you would actually put into a lot of these models and things. So for example, like if I'm driving really fast, I'm not gonna see a lot of small details, but this is a game where I feel like it's meant to be explored, so it's finding a little bit of a balance there. But these bushes are incredibly it's a sphere with just a leaf atlas plopped on it. It's pretty funny. It works to me. Sorry, Yoshi. Yeah, it's just, and I do wonder, like they probably like how do they come up with these textures? Do they hand do them, or they probably take like an actual photo and maybe run it through Photoshop and stylize it a little bit with the colors mostly, and they're very careful with the Just you don't want it to be too noisy in the normals and stuff. I also love, like, this free camera is great. Look at that freaking penguin. It's so cute. Grizzhoot, welcome. Yeah, a lot of the world assets are made to be seen at a distance while going fast. Absolutely. So a lot of the scrutiny, you have to take that with, like, well, what is the end, like, goal for this? Because I don't know. I mean, you've got this whole, like, photo mode thing as well. Does it change in photo mode? Actually, look at that. I think that might be a little more detailed. No. I thought that there was an extra layer of leaves there for a sec. Oops, photo mode. Ugh. I gotta get used to these controls. Yeah, it's not really. So it looks like they've got at most 2 layers of this stuff, but yeah. Anyway, let's move on from that. But I think I will probably go to like I'll go back to the starting area. Can I just like teleport? Maybe what I need to do is just like do that race. Maybe we'll do the first race and just look at everything. It'll pull us there. Maybe. I don't know. I forgot. I've got coffee. I mean, I remembered. I have coffee. I do really love these like colors and the layout. It's really clean. I mean, Nintendo's always been clean, but I've really not explored this very much, honestly. So, going to the main area, I am noticing, first off, yeah, just the level of mesh detail. Yeah, they are very preservative still. But like the amount of geometry on this stuff, like you can tell how much geometry they're putting on things just by looking at the silhouette, like where the object like runs into something else. And this is like, yeah, one like a chamfer or a 1-segment bevel, and then these would just be like straight up cubes. Really not much detail on them. Is that looks like an alpha? The whole Mario Bros. Circuit thing. Just one texture with an alpha on it. Probably just one card. The light there. Oh, got some normal stuff here. I love geeking out about all this stuff. Look at this. Oh. He's T-posing. Anyway. But yeah, I noticed this. Look at that. That is a mesh normal issue. Seems like there is some distance field, ambient occlusion. Where do you notice that, Steve? Probably in photo mode, actually. Yeah, I think... I don't know if it's there in photo... If you come out of photo mode as much. Yeah, ish. I don't know, because I was going back and forth because I feel like some places they're using just a very traditional method of using vertex colors. Like here, on the base of this... It looks like vertex color AO. Yeah, I think I'm noticing that. Yeah, all this wood though will just be like one. It'll be one little sliver on a trim sheet. All of this wood. I think they're using vertex colors for ambient occlusion. I really think they might be. And I wonder if that comes from like, they started development on this. What was it, like about when the Switch came out or before the Switch or something? I don't remember. So I wonder if they were really aiming and pushing for the Switch 1, and vertex color stuff is like, you know, the most optimized stuff you could do. Okay, let's look at these textures. So the curvature, I'm noticing the curvature on that upper part there. I can't really like I guess photo mode. I really need to get used to photo mode. And I keep doing the, what is it? The controls for like all the photo modes in all the Nintendo games are different. But anyway, yeah, I'm noticing like you got good curvature there. So just like slap a curvature generator on like Substance Designer or Substance Painter. They probably use Painter. Little bumps. This reminds me of like a Fortnite style texture. But yeah, the roughness is it's cloudy, clean. Why is he like, it looks like he's T-posing every time. I don't know if that's intentional or not. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have anything else there. Just noticing the textures, I suppose. Oh, on the ground, I wonder... I think it's just a straight normal map. Yep, that's all. Easy peasy normal map. No, like, parallax or anything like that. I've seen some games will use parallax on, like, rocky textures. But I don't know how their photo mode is. Look how low resolution that is. But most people aren't, like, zooming into the ground. They're rocks. I don't know if this is just here, but when I'm placing environment asset stuff, I do things in like groups of 3, and I do little like offset triangles like this. And there it is. There's an offset. Or is the correct term like a isosceles triangle? Just something that's offset, you know, non-symmetrical. But they probably have that same triangle, like 3 rocks everywhere. Let's see if we'll spot it over here. 1, 2, 3. Yep. So, and maybe with the grass as well. So they probably just like drag that asset like a prefab or a, you know, just like a blueprint or something. It's like a face with little. It's hard to see with the light on it, but look, it's like 2 eyes, a nose, and it's got like 2 little ear things. How cute! So we've spotted a pattern. And they'll just drag and drop that around. There it is again. But I find like 3-point triangle type patterns are a good natural looking arrangement. Listen to that music. I have something for the harmonica. That is beautiful. So, okay, here's another thing. So, the tiling texture of the rocks, like that just goes on and on. But then we have like around the skirting edge. Oh man, I almost got annihilated. So we have this. How do I explain it? It's like the brushed edge around, like next to the pipe, going all the way around. And I'm trying to think like how you would set up your mesh and your UVs so that you would have the straight line going across, do they have like a decal with just a strip of geometry going all the way across? Maybe, but it kind of looks like it's vertex color blended almost, because it goes in and out of that like skirting going all the way across. Like right there, you kind of see it. It's a bit blended. So it could be, maybe I can get low enough in photo mode, but it could just be a decal going all the way across. I was trying to see that somewhere earlier as well. Like, is it just a decal they've plopped on, like going all the way around, or is that just the whole mesh is like, is this whole path just, you know, laid out in that way, like horizontally in the UVs? I'm just looking at the window there as well. Let's move on. So simple textures here again, very basic geometry on the building there, and the window is just yeah, no geometry there. The window is fully texture. See the mipping there around the edges, the little let's go in photo mode again. And I'm getting used to these controls now. Yeah. Guide. Turn that off. So the pixels there. Just mipping. Oh, hey, Kaylin. Yeah. The building is just very simple geometry. Trim sheets everywhere. Like this, the tiles. Is just one tiling thing. This strip right here running along would be one tile. This would be another tile. I'm thinking like you know, just horizontal strips on like a long trim sheet. Just an atlas of all these horizontal tiling details. And then along here as well, that would be another trim sheet with the bolts. And they, you know, like on the trim sheet, the normals are there, like the beveled edge. So then the geometry can just be one flat plane, pretty much. Yeah, and look how flat, like the neon going around, it looks like it pokes out. That's because of the normals, but the silhouette shows us it's all texture. So good to know. Okay, stop taking photos. Yeah, let's look at this item box as well. Geometry is very very low. I'm noticing that. Oh, can I do photo mode? Oops. Ah. Okay, here we go. So they have like this, they've got the square silhouette obviously, but then they got like the square going around the edge. I mean, like in the center, they've got like a little square there. And that's normal map. There you go, you can see that normal map there. But that's a really nice like metallic, oh, yeah, let's look at the material here for a sec. So in this material, it would be like screen. Obviously, it's facing the screen, like the question mark itself, but I'm looking at the details behind it. So just like a straight up texture. Those colors. So that would just be a mask. Like those circles, like running along, that'll just be like screen UVs. Just with a hue shift on it. But notice how the question mark is like flicking in and out. and it's like popping. I wonder, that's probably just like an animated texture laid on top of it. A few things going on in that material. It'd be fun to like reverse engineer and figure that one out. It's really cool to see like how flat a lot of this is, and it looks so good. Like you really don't need that much. This is a bit rigid here. Probably would have added some, like an edge or two more, but like these are very sharp corners. It's all about silhouette, innit? That's what I tell people who are just learning 3D art. Just preserve the silhouette. Remember, we're not living in PS1 era anymore, so you can like add more geometry to things nowadays. Vertices are fairly cheap in comparison to like loading textures and materials. So a lot of these textures, like how many materials and how many textures are there? There's a lot, but I'd be willing to bet like a lot of them share. I don't know what the budgets are, and I really am not that good at with all the tech art type stuff with like budgets and overdraw and draw calls and all that stuff. Like I'm still fairly new to all that. I did notice the steps here. The texture, like they have the perspective of the steps in the texture because this is flat. But when you look at it, it looks like, oh, the steps are going in. As I'm going up, the steps are going in. Oh, this is a shipping container, isn't it? I didn't realize it was a shipping container. But they are like, they're faking that perspective by just the edges there. Steve, it was... Yeah, it was good to see you, and yeah, maybe I'll do more of these streams occasionally, well, especially while I'm doing my music stuff. Alright, peace out. Alright, let's look at this then. How are they building this? So, flat texture. Or, I'm sorry, flat mesh. That pole sticks out a bit. So they have the pole mesh, but then they've got the fence as one thing. And I wonder, like, do they just have like a tiling chain link texture? Or is the texture of the chain link... I wouldn't bet this. I bet the chain link, they've just got one like tiling little section, and I bet like reversing or like looking through some of the files of previous Nintendo games, and that's how you really learn a lot, honestly. Like take apart the models and stuff and look at them for yourself, like get the files ripped and all that. But this texture of the chain link fence, I bet is like, it's just one chain link or maybe four. But then that would repeat, and then the edges here around the chain link, like the edges of the fence, would be another that would be another like trim sheet, you know? So the corner there would be like one detail on a texture that you would just like, you'd model something that, like a plane that fits just that corner piece. I need to use this a lot more. Oh, T-pose. But yeah, that would be like one model piece. Actually, you can see that it is. You can see that that is just one plane. So, like it sticks out. So that corner, they would have something modeled to a detail that's just one piece of one big texture full of all these details. And just stick that on. So a lot of it, you are just modeling. Like that is how you model with trim sheets, is have all these details. Model like simple planes to those texture details, and then you're building things with these just planes, essentially. It's a different way to model things. Like you wouldn't bake all this, you know, like this wouldn't be one large texture. It's just a kit of all these little pieces of tiling details. Tasty Soup, it was good to have you on. Nice seeing you again. You wonder if the chain link and the metal frame is the same texture on the sheet. I would be willing to bet no. And I think we might be able to prove it. Because that was something I was wondering initially. Oh, wait. Can I? There we go. Like, they kind of stick out from each other. I'd be willing to bet the chain link and the frame are separate. That the frame... Because you don't know, like, how big you would want the chain link to be. And I can actually see the tiling here of the chain link. So, we've got the 3 in the middle, the 3 circles. Maybe it is just one chain link. I don't think it is, though. I think it's 2. Yeah, I think it's... I actually don't know. It could just be 1. But I would be willing to bet that the frame sticks out just a hair. That's all you need to stop the Z fight in the flickering. So, anyway. That's enough on that. Oh yeah, the red part is definitely separate for sure. But the silver bit is I would say that it's just one trim sheet separate from the chain link fence. So then you can extend it for as long as you want, and you can have a chain link fence. It would just make more sense to have them be separate, way more optimized and flexible. Where do you guys want to go? Someone recommend something. What do you want to look at? Maybe the road? We can look at the road. Maybe I'll look at the road and let you guys suggest something else. So I like that they cut off. So I noticed on like Mario Kart 8, they will have just like one big like road texture. I don't think they even mirror it either. I think it's just like one big texture for the entire road, and then they just tile that all the way along. So I don't think this is like a decal. I think it's part of the road texture. Yeah, cat pack, but that's fine. Like it's so cheap because it's just quads. Like just one quad, another quad, and you really like. Yeah, it's. I'd still be willing to bet it is. Like it's so cheap. The real issue is just the amount of unique textures and things, and that would be a unique texture, and that would be overall big picture hard or less optimized. The seam here is fun. A lot of these seams. Or is it a shadow? It kind of, you could almost pass it as a shadow, but there's. Oh, I see. It's not a seam. Or it's probably a seam. Because this just cuts off. Or it's a little bit stretched. But the darkness here would be just like vertex colors. You just select those faces and just like do a multiply. Pretty much the same way with the ambient occlusion vertex color stuff. You would probably just do it in the ambient occlusion channel unless you had like specific material properties you'd want to mask out. Yeah. So I don't think these side edges, or the lines on the edge here are decals. They could be. Like, that is a potential, but it's too clean of a transition into like all these cracks and stuff that just runs along. So that'd just be in the entire material. You've always wondered about local lights in these games, like with the item boxes. Are those physical lights, or are they baked onto the ground somehow? Sometimes both. The item boxes. I don't think these would be baked on the ground. These would be like So I'd be willing to bet there is a light source, but you can kind of see, like, even on the light source, look at as it changes colors. I don't know if what I'm seeing is, like, as it rotates, is that like screen space ambient occlusion or something, or is that in the light texture that is projected onto things? You could have a texture shift, and so what it's projecting onto things is like kind of spinning as well. Oh yeah, it is casting light on the character too. Yep, so that's how you know. The sounds. They got a good like crispy, crackly sound in a lot of these. Okay. I love the chunky freaking cars. Look at that. Oh, I love these cars so much. They're so chunky. Look at that. It's beautiful. Your car is beautiful. Goodbye. And you, sir, have a beautiful pickup truck. Penguin's like, love this car. Oh, look at the detail. I am just like full of joy when I find like low detail geometry stuff. It's beautiful. Maybe I think we need like a chunky emoji or something, but I don't know how I would do that. But I just, I love these. I love these boxy cars. Oh my gosh. Fills a spot in my soul. Hole in my soul. Wow. Wow. And then let's look at these. Yep, just a very simple texture. Hello. But yeah, that'll just be maybe 2 or 3 different branch textures with the alpha, and then you just model the plane to curve around, and that's it. You've got your 2-sided foliage, and just add some. You would add some world position offset in the material, but notice how it's not all moving at the same. Like, it's all waving, but it's not all waving at the same time, and so for that, you would have like vertex channels, probably to mask out different waves. So you have one that's like moving back and forth this way, and adding maybe a little bit of sway forward, and then you would have that fully masked to like red, and then you'd have another pattern that's fully masked to green, and then in your vertex colors, when you're modeling this, basically you would just like kind of do a blend of reds and greens and a little bit of blue, and then it has that kind of randomness to it. A lot of this video, because I can't just like quickly go and compare and recreate this stuff, it's all like in your head, but that's kind of the concept of it. Oh no. Yeah, that's fun. Oh! That was something good to see. So, in the tires. So, notice the silhouette of the tires. They're low poly. And I make tires. That is my job. I make tires for Rocket League. I make wheels and wheels and wheels. And okay, so look at the oh wait, photo mode. Is that gonna cool. So we have around the edge, we got 1, then 2, the long one, 3, 4 around the edge there. And then it goes like flat. But look on the inside. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. So we got 8 sides over here on the inside of it. Because it doesn't break the silhouette. You can get away with really low things inside things, in like concave areas of mesh, you can get away with really crunching down your geometry. But on the convex stuff, the very shape defining edges, that's where you want to put more of your geometry. So very fun. Look how janky that looks. It's beautiful game jank. Beautiful game jank. 2025 and we're still doing this stuff. I love it. What about the stack of coins? Let's have a look at this. Also, like, a lot of things when you're building environments, how you jam things into the floor. Like, a lot of times you kind of want to transition, but with a game like this, where you're driving so fast, a lot of it just really doesn't matter that much. I don't know. And I can't speak to very much like what we did on Rocket Racing. I did help on the environments a little bit with that, but really not very much. Are they all separate? So this would be a very specific model, I think, because you don't want like a separate mesh for every single coin if you can get away with it. I think some of these are combined. Like, here we go. Ah! Ah, no, wrong buttons, left and right. Goodness gracious. So, here we go. Oh, wait, there's actually a cool feature. You can press, like, back, and it will rewind to a last position. Okay. Okay, here we go. So, for example, like, we got the top coin, the other top, the second from the top coin, and you'd want some, like, silhouette variation that keeps the shape interesting. But then, then the third and the fourth one are the same mesh. So that is a tiling. They probably don't have a tiling texture. Just how the two coins are stacked on the same, like, mesh. They probably just, like, they probably cut along horizontally, like with vertices, and then they would shift the UVs so then it's not like exactly, so shift it over. But yeah, you can see that they do, like, they pair these clumps, the couples. And most of these don't have a bevel on. Like, they're very, like, 90-degree angles. But the top one, does it? Nope, top one doesn't either. I thought I did for a sec, but I think it was the perspective. Yeah, I think it was the perspective. So yeah, no bevel, just 90 degrees. But it's in the texture. Like, the bevel is important, but it's in the texture in the tiling thing, so you don't need that vertex bevel. Ah, sweet coins. Wait, why do I need the coins? Alright, maybe let's look at how these rocks are being jammed into the floor. So, one thing I notice, like, transitions really do make or break, like, the polish of something. So when you do jam something straight into the ground, like a flat plane, it's good to kind of marry those elements together. And you can see around the edge of the rock that I'm getting used to the okay, I'm still pressing the wrong buttons, but you can see around the edge, like, it's slightly darker, not too much, but it's got a slight vignette, and that's just to kind of, like, that would be the vertex color ambient occlusion going all the way around. Just a slight multiply to just kind of bring it together. Like, this is the close, fake that ambient occlusion, fake the roundness almost. It has a very good effect. You want to do that wherever you can. And then, yeah, for lights like this, yeah, it's probably just a regular light, honestly, right there. But then with lights in games, do you notice like let's go in camera mode again because I can just angle it a bit better. So you notice the light beam there. Either it's geometry coming. I don't think so. I would, because of how it fades, it would be a plane, I think, that is kind of billboarded to always look at the camera. What do they call those profiles? Like a light eye something profile. But it would be just like an alpha card that always looks at the screen, and it would be right where the light is. And so it looks like it's glowing, but we'd have to move around it to see if it is just a plane like that. Just like the beam itself. It could be a cone. I don't know. There's a few ways you could go about lights. And it could be a cone just with like glow on it, or I don't know. I think it's a cone. I want to say it's a cone. Just that beam there. But it's maybe got like a dither on it. So then it's got a soft transition. I don't know. I don't work with lights very much. Honestly, I haven't done a lot of environment stuff since my job at with Rocket League. And it makes me sad. I want to be doing more environments. I love this kind of stuff. World building, you know, that's how I see it. Look at these lights. I wonder, just because, like, look at how like low resolution that is. Like that fade off there. I wonder if that would be like a vertex color mask. Like, I wonder if there's just like an emissive in the material there for the pipe. Look at that car. Oh, love it so much. I love chunky cars. I love chunky cars. I like chunky cars. Thick. So that's pretty simple texture. Probably just one side of this lantern. Just be one thing tiled all over, and then just the emissive glow on it. And then how many of these boards do you think are unique? I wonder if they've just got... All of this looks like unique. Like, all of these 4 boards look unique. So, like, just one texture for all of these boards. Yeah, there we go. Because we have the same thing just flipped. Like, we've got the short one here that I'm on, and then this is the new short one. Although, actually, well, yeah, I think that's still right, but you could stretch things, obviously, in the mesh. But look at how they go from one plank to the next. Just straight, and then next one, over. And then, yep, 90-degree angles. It's environment stuff. It's cheap and hacky. This looks like vertex Ambient occlusion. Going along the edge of this. Really subtle. But you can see it at like the edge of the red there. It does taper off. So they're doing that everywhere. I'm pretty sure it's vertex. A lot of the old school methods. Also, look how like jagged those lines are. It works in a Mario game. Just straight. Okay. One door. So you always got to look for the repeating details, and I see this like bump there. They would have baked this. This looks like a sculpt. Oh yeah, I can pick it up. Sorry for the random noises. Not really, sorry. So yeah, that's the same door, just tiled twice. They would have... This looks like a bake, like a sculpt. Bring it into Substance Painter, and you just have one door. Though these look a bit stretched, though, to me. At the bottom, I wonder if we find the same texture and just kind of... Actually... A lot of this looks very trim sheety. No, I think the whole thing is one unique texture. Yeah, one garage door would be one unique texture. And look at the 90-degree angles on these frames, you know? Those... And okay, and also you can tell like the difference between, I guess it's the roughness. I don't think it's normal. The roughness map, I think they would take a lower resolution on the roughness map. So for example, like the diffuse texture, the base color texture, probably diffuse in this case. And the normal map would be like 512 or less. And then the roughness would be like 1 lower, so like 256. Just because it's like a more subtle thing that you don't need like a lot of resolution for. And this light is just kind of plopped everywhere. Yeah, I wonder if it looks like vertex stuff. The light, it looks like a vertex color mask because it's like, just look at the resolution, how it's like, yeah, compare it with the car's light, you know. Yeehaw. Anyway, but the resolution of the edge of the light from the car is very smooth, but this on the building, it looks like it's just baked in with, I mean, it would be part of the material. So probably one material master for most environment stuff, and then they would have like a material parameter for the color of the emissive or for the light. So if this one building would be like one material, and yeah, they've got maybe the alpha channel. I'm trying to think, how would they do that? You would only need like probably alpha channel just for the AO. Like, you can see the AO going all the way along, like, the bottom, the corner of the building and stuff. And then would you just use RGB for the color of the emissive, maybe? Or only one channel for the... like a light mask? I don't know. A few ways you could do it. Yeah. Let's look at this cactus. Those are everywhere. Ooh, cactus. It's very low poly. A lot of texture work in that. Yeah, it looks like a 8 or a 6-sided cylinder all the way up. Yeah, maybe 6. It works. Very cheap. Looks very good. The texture really carries that. Oh, am I missing anything in here? Yeah, I think the ambient occlusion is still like Mario Kart 8 level of just vertex colors everywhere. Maybe they have screen space like on top of it too, maybe, but I don't think so. I love that lighting. Like they have a probably post-process, like how the saturation, you know, is less the further something away it is. Gives it a sense of like atmospheric depth. Oh yeah, the rock wall. Let's look at the rock wall. Ooh, look at that texture stretching right here. It looks like I can see the triangles. So from the top of his head, all the way up, all the way up there to the top of his head, above the top of his head would be one triangle, and it's a bit deformed, but you can see the UVs there are a bit wonky. So how much of this tiles? Let's find the tiling. So one thing immediately pops out, and it's this detail. So this will be sculpted, obviously. Baked down to a texture. Is that the same? I think it's slightly different. But no, that's the same. No, I think it's actually different. So I'm looking at the ridge, the top one, or not the very top, but like this darker one. So you got sticks out, goes in, sticks out, bigger stick out. So that pattern you can track. Yeah, these corners, you know, they're pretty brutal. Boom. But like normal brutal, not bad. Yeah, so you just sculpt this whole thing. It's a really nice texture. And then lay it on a bunch of planes. There's your environment. Yeah, it's real good texture. Oh, I am seeing like a crack, like this crack here, like the Y-shaped looking one, and it repeats right here on the corner. There's that Y-shaped one. Yeah. So that's. So these two are actually unique, but I wonder, like, you know how the roughness changes there? Like on it. It's like shiny, and then it's like rough on the upper part of it. I thought maybe they're sticking like, because you could stick roughness like decals and stuff on it, on top just to give it a bit more variation, but I think it's just actually part of the texture. Yeah, because it's the same thing there. Cool. That's a really good texture though. Someone was happy in ZBrush just sculpting away those cracks and things. Yeah, cool. Look at these pipes. Is he looking? Just love. I really just want to make cars like this. It's so cute. T-pose. Angry T-pose. Yeah, these pipes. Pretty low. Hammer Bros. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely caked. Yeah, you know, a lot of assets really are just like you don't do like a whole unique bake for everything. So actually, let's look at what would repeat on a car or an asset like this. This wouldn't just be like UV the whole car and then all unique UVs, go bake the whole thing. Like, such a waste of space when you can, you know, use just Nintendo, man. They're like the kings of optimization, I feel like. Kings and queens. But this pipe, same thing in it. Yeah, they probably just like mapped one thing just the way it is. Like UV'd it, I mean. And then, yeah, just one wheel texture. I don't know, like you wouldn't really need the back end. What is the back like? So they do have a back, of course. It would be silly to not put a back on it. But I'm noticing like the, oh my gosh, around the wheel. I can't think of the word, but like on the car body, around the wheel, like that would, it looks like just one detail. The cutoff is so clean that it looks just like a mesh. Or like just UV'd to that mesh specifically because the transition isn't very clean. Stop. You're being inspected. Then probably just the same light. Just one little light chunk. For the orange one, I mean. And then, yeah, the side of the car. Oh, you can see a UV seam here. Like along the top. It's kind of, the lights cracking a little bit. This is so fun. I love this stuff. Should we do another car? Stop in the name of... Oh, I just love how... I just love the shapes. Oh my goodness. I need to just make cars. I need to make a car game. I've thought about it, actually. Like, I have this idea of like UFOs. Of making these UFOs and controlling them differently. Like, you can do whatever you want, you know? And it would be sweet to just like come up with different control schemes. But look at the shapes of this. Oh, I'm dying right now. This is beautiful. It's so cute. Yeah. I just love how low poly it is and everything. And just the the resolution of the textures on the wheels, it just so good. So the light would be one thing, you just duplicate it, and then these lights, you know, same thing, one light, model one tire, I mean. Probably like mirror, like flip the hood of that texture bit, like, you know, just mirror model one side of it and flip it. Like, I wonder, this whole car, you might even get away with like a super tiny texture, like 256 maybe. I wonder if the tires are actually like on the same. It's probably on the same thing. I really want to get in. Like, I can't wait for when modders and things like get in there and they start like getting the files to these things. It's just a beautiful car. I need to like take pictures of all this stuff. Look at this. I want to like the designers of this. Like, I just want to like. You just tell them how beautiful their cars are. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Yeah, this water edges animation is very, very basic. It's very clean. Yeah, it's just like wah, 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 all the way across. Up, down, just a sine wave running through it with a noise. Oh, ooh, does it? Whoa! I haven't actually attempted this yet. I really haven't seen much at all on this game. Just wanted to experience it myself. So these rocks, like, they all just kind of have a curvature on them. But I think, like, the edge wear there, I do wonder if... So... I feel like these maybe are just a tiling texture with vertex colors on the edges for, like, edge wear highlights. Or they could be individual, like a unique bake per asset. I don't know. You know, I will save the music. Oh yeah, and then there's some AO there. I don't know how consistent it is. Yeah, like there's AO there, but not right here on this crack that I'm driving on right now. Yeah, the music though, I'm not a fan of like this style of music. Like, it's like, whatever. It's Nintendo finally being like, yeah, we can do whatever we want with our music now. It doesn't have to be just synths and crappy music. And it's been a few years. Like the live bands and stuff I don't care that much about. Oh, this transition actually. Look at this. Whee! Go forward. Aha! This is a beautiful transition. This will be height-based blending here. So if you take two height maps and you vertex color like a slope, you can use like a max effect to get like the highest numbers, but like, okay, for example, all this would be colored like, let's just say green. So this is full green and this is full black. But then you lay on the height texture as well with that slope. Like you've got a gradient here going from 1 to 0. And along that, it's getting like the bumps and stuff of like the height detail. As this tapers off, the height will decrease. And it's the best way to blend between two textures with vertex colors. It's the most natural looking way. And so this terrain is like one texture here, one texture here. This will be one material, but then look, they also have this like higher sand. Although, is it just a color change or is it an actual texture change? There's a lot going on in this terrain texture. Oh, this is the sand texture. So you got sand. Then maybe they're just coloring this, or are they two different textures? Like maybe just doing like a color multiply on top of this same one. But no, it looks like an actual... Because look, you got these rocks that I'm next to, and then there's none of those. So there are 4 different textures on this, which probably means that's a... If every texture has... You've got the diffuse, which is RGB, then you got normal, which is RGB. Then you got roughness and spec. I guess you could put those in the alpha channels. But how many textures does this one material have? So this would be at least 2, maybe 3, but at least 2. Then this would be 2, so 2, 4, and then you've got. Oh, you know what? This might not even have to be on the same material. This could just be like alpha. Oh, it is. It's alpha dithered. Look at that. You can see it. Aha. So you have one. This is more realistic. I'm like, that's a lot of textures in one material. So it would be the orange, the brown, and then the sand is one. But look at how the sand, it has a height blend off to nothing. So this, oh, there you go, all the way across. But you can tell that this is alpha. Ah, hell. Ugh. Okay, let's go back. I need to make use of the like D-pad thing. It's a dither alpha. Oh my goodness. Okay, here we go. Yeah, look at that. So you can tell it's dithered and it's alpha because of like just this, it's very hard to see. I don't know if you can tell, but just that fall off between the sand and the rock, that transition there is like slightly like sandy, or just noise. They just put a noise on it. So this will be a plane that sits on top of this rock one. That's really good. How do things like your tire tracks work with corresponding these layered textures? Just a decal over on top of everything. Essentially, just a decal that's like over the ground. Planes that are generated. Oh, but look at that. That's beautiful. Oh, so you can, yeah, you can see, look, if I like spin circles, they do have the depth of the sand. It works in this case actually, but like it's kind of like laying on top of and cancelling out other tire tracks. But they just put like a, it's just like a, it's a strip which will blend out, but it's a strip of geometry, and the texture will just be like bumped around the edges with a dip in the middle. That's what the normal map would look like. So then you get all these really complex things that's just drawing over the top of itself. I mean, that's one way to do it. It might not be the way. But you can kind of tell too, it's overlaying on top of, like, look at how the normal is a bit... Oh, I'm still on this. Oh. Oh. Yeah, I wonder if the room is just free roam and people will join too in there. Maybe that's how it is. I'd have to look. Oh, wait. Oh, it's gone now. Ah, I shouldn't have done that. I should have just kept going. Yeah, but anyway, so they probably have like decal specific things, kind of like with footsteps and stuff in snow, or dirt. You'll have like slightly different decals for the footsteps. You detect like what the material is under the player's feet, and then tell it what decal to put for a footstep. But same thing. So this is the same material that we're looking at that we were like over there. It's got the brown, it's got the lighter dirt. But for every section you could have just like drive the different what textures would be in that section. And then here though, again with the edges, this could just be a texture blend. Notice how we go from like this cliff here is like sticking out of the actual terrain. So this is using a different material, obviously, because you wouldn't want to blend. The floor would never have this cliff thing. So we stick this with a different material on. And the top plane, we use the same texture, which it looks like both of them, because they are seamless though, like they tile perfectly, so they have like a world position UV mapping based off of the world position, so you could have two things and the texture would match up perfectly if you collided in. But then for this, yeah, they probably lay out their UVs, or they just have like, you could have just like a separate UV layer, and you would mask out. So you could have two different UV channels. One's just like regular, but then you'd have like, oh, yeah. If you're using world, which I don't know actually, because look at the stretching there on the ground on the left. There's like some stretching. I'm not really sure why that is there. If it was like a world position coordinates. But yeah, so I think just in the mesh of this, you would lay out all the UVs like going along the edge of this, and then you would blend between that UV channel, that texture, and the UV channel into this like world position mapping stuff. And maybe just like, well, I mean, like I'm trying to see how they would blend that, and I think that's just regular vertex color blending from the dirt to the scraped or the rock again. That's Stackadough. 9. Oh, what the heck? Collected. So it is keeping track. I just can't see any counter or anything. Yeah, like recreating this stuff is really good. Like if you really want to pick up your skills in this sort of thing, like if you want to be like, oh yeah, I want to be a professional 3D artist, environment artist, like to be able to copy something to this level is like, it's the fastest way to get those skills. Like if you could just recreate this, straight up copy it, full on plagiarism. I mean, without actually making money off of it, you know. This is how you get those skills. Just recreate, reverse engineer something, and then recreate it. If you make it look just like this, all the same elements and all that. It's like, great. Now you're ready to do that, you know, for something else. Okay, well, I think, oh yeah, it's definitely time for me to wrap up. So that was a good session. I'm getting tired now. This has been a lot of analysis. All the same elements all over the place here. Is that tumbleweed? It is. Don't break. What? Don't just disappear, please. I feel like this is Pokemon Snap. And then, yeah, there's your normal thing of just like, have a ball. And then duplicate the ball and expand it. On that expanded one, you put the alpha on it. Underneath it, you just put the tiling one with no alpha. Probably the same texture file, but just the lower layer wouldn't use the alpha channel, and I guess you could mask that out with vertex colors as well. That would be really simple. Cool. And there we go. So that's it for now. Yeah, this was fun to do. I'll probably do this again. I don't know if I'll do it on Mario Kart again, but if there's specific things that people want to see, like on the YouTube video, for example, if people are commenting like, hey, I wanna, like, why don't you look at this? I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just looking and going like, hey, this is what makes sense to me, and this is how I would recreate something like this based on what I'm seeing. Like, I could be totally wrong on a lot of this, but a lot of it matches up. Anyway, but yeah, so like if there's something that if there's any interest in having something be looked at in this sort of format, then fire away. That was a really low resolution. I'm looking at the trail there. That's really mipped hard. Look at those squares. But it's fine. Yeah, okay. Planning to run any more analysis on this one or the titles in the near future? Yeah, I really could. It'd be cool to see Zelda before and after its notable changes, the new hardware. Okay, interesting, yeah. Honestly, I bet a lot of it is the same as far as textures and stuff goes and methods, so I bet there'll be people doing like comparison videos of like how good it runs now, but I could like pick apart how Zelda does their stuff and how, I don't know, just analysis stuff on Zelda though, yeah. And I haven't played Zelda on the Switch 2 yet, so it'd be good to dive into that and see how they're doing or how it feels, and then at the same time just kind of give a reverse engineer analysis on some of this stuff. Yeah, okay, good recommendation. Maybe I'll do Zelda as well, and anything else just put in the comments of this YouTube video and I'll look at it. Okay, thanks for watching, and till next time, I guess. Bye.